Greetings all, Frog here. Let's play some Factorio efficiently. You notice something a little bit different in this one. I am playing at triple speed. Well, no, I played it at normal speed, but now I'm playing it back at triple speed and then recording over the top of it. Reason being, because I wanted to do a lot of stuff, and just waiting for these orders to be done just takes forever. So I'm playing at triple speed. I'm not going to do this all the time because it's just, I just don't have that much time during the week because it took an hour to record it. Of course, now I've got to watch this over 20 minutes. And, you know, it's an hour and 20 minutes. That's normally would be 4 episodes of a series, right? And this is now 1 episode. So it's time prohibitive, but it was going too slow, and so I wanted to speed up a little bit, and we'll find as we go along that things are not great. So I'm just checking out supplies there, and I'm coming back and seeing, did I research alien science? No. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Let's just unload those. Let's start thinking about biters. What about those guys? And I'm thinking, okay, well, yeah, let's go after them. We're going to get these lasers first. You'll notice I made some normal turrets, now I'm making laser turrets, now I'm making ammo. I want lots of ammo. Give me all the ammo I can make, so that'll be that. And you'll see in a minute I'll start doing that as well from the from my pocket. Excuse me. So a lot of this episode is kind of hurry up and wait because we really want to get that big order done so we can really start modifying some things. And I decided that one of the things I could do to kill some time is to kill some biters. So I'm getting things ready to make that attack. We're starting to get the lasers getting ready. We will turret creep this. It will be cheese. But that's, you know, that's how it goes. And there they are. But thankfully my defenses are perfectly fine and capable of handling any minor attack that might come our way. So it's going to be your standard typical turret creep. You can see I make a couple of more standard turrets, so I've got a little bit of backup. But there we go. There's the first line of defense. Now there's a bunch of these guys coming back to get me. And it'll be fine. I hate really how the audio sounds. I don't know why it records so strangely on my system, because it sounds fine on playback. We'll have to try a stream at some point, see if it sounds okay on stream. I hate this music anyway. I really want the old music back. It was so much better, I thought. But they probably didn't have the rights for that either, just like they didn't have the rights for a lot of the visual material. It's half dozen to one, really. At that point, the one base is dead, and I didn't even realize it. So, that's how effective turret creep is. You don't even have to pay attention, and there it goes. That's the time I noticed, so there we are. And then, whoa! There's some big worms in there. Gotta be careful with that. So we're just gonna leave that alien artifact. We're gonna put a little victory pull, and then fall back to our established perimeter. So I'm gonna take a look around now, see. Alright. What do we got going on? I'm looking for fish right now is what I'm trying to do, and couldn't find any within quick striking glance. I noticed that the the steel is out again, so we'll load those back up. We have plenty of coal, there's no worry about that. There's my ammo, it's a little too late, but at least now I've got it for the future. And then I'm going to go and continue to help along the green inserters. It's definitely worthwhile, I think, to get the double system involved. So like we're doing with the red circuits, once it's all said and done. You definitely could be efficient and have more than one version. You just have to be very careful with your orders. So, like red circuits, I can never do anything that needs an odd number of red circuits. Here I'm taking a look to see, okay, where are the rest of the biters? Do I really have to worry about them? That one it just looks so big. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it until I have power armor, because it's just, you can already tell there's a number of worms involved, and it's just a sticky widget. This is me saying, how much more could there possibly be? The answer is a lot. So, those are the last 3, and then we're going to start making circuits. Check that out. Holy smokes, the circuits are working. So, we're going to go through now. We're making green circuits, which is good. We're seeing, is it efficient? No, so I'm going to help it along a little bit and just kind of toss some in there. And I'm going to watch this for a little bit and then toss some more in there just to kind of speed things along. Just like I was doing in the loading, or the unloading area, really. So, there you go. And then I walk away and take a look at other things. I'm taking a look at the wrong things, but we'll see why that is in a moment. Wow, this audio is so weird when it's sped up 3 times. Alright, so now I'm thinking, what do I need to make robots? I want robots, so I'm going to try and make the first 25 construction and 25 logistics robots. So there I'm just taking out some supplies and putting some of it in and just kind of load up there. seeing everything that I need. Why can't I make engine units? Oh, that's right. They have to be made in an assembler. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to get the requisite 50 gears and 100 pipe. And I'm going to shove it into the factory that I already have because I have this wonderful, beautiful factory that's just sitting there doing nothing. So I'm going to throw that in. We're going to throw that in. Then we're going to wait. I moved away. It's just the wrong time. Okay, now I've got enough pipe. We'll put it in. I can't put 100 in, unfortunately. So I think, well, okay, we'll put it into... There's one more time. I'm like, no, really. No, this is dumb. Put it in the chest. So it'll be fine. We'll store it there. And then we're going to get engines out the other side. And then what do I need for those frames? Let's make sure I can get enough stuff going so I start making the green circuits. And then we'll find along the way, I'm like, well, I really want this. And that uses more green circuits. And then we need this. And that uses more green circuits. And Bob's your uncle. So at this point, I decided, let's just pave this little guy in. That's cool, run away. And I still haven't noticed the problem with the red circuits. You probably did ages ago. But I took the belt. I now have enough red belt to do everything I want to do. For now. I was just taking along, thinking about all this stuff. And do I really want this research? No, it should be oil. No, it should be this. So I decided to do that. I'm going to be 50 stuff short of everything. But that's just how it'll have to be. I'll make it in my pocket if I have to. I haven't really gotten to that point yet. Spoiler alert. And we'll go from there. That's how long this order takes. I mean, this is an hour-long episode, and the order is basically just finished at the end of the episode. So, there you go. How far are we in? We're like 7 minutes into a 20-minute video now, and so it's about a third of the way through. It's just took a long time. So now what I'm doing is I'm creating some of the active or passive provider chests to get ready for the robots when they're in, because when I get some logistics robots, I'm going to want them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep myself supplied of the basics. Because, again, I don't think the intermediary products, it's considered to be wasteful if you keep intermediaries along. So your copper, your iron, your steel, all that stuff will be then. Now I'm checking out the oil, because we're not getting enough battery production. So what can we do to increase the oil? We're going to build a pump jack, which of course needs more circuits. So I'm going to have to build more circuits after the pump jack, blah, 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 blah. I say, okay, look, there's more oil down here. Is this worth it? Let's check it out. And we see, no. It's not worth it at all. It was like 67% effective or something like that. It was really, really bad. Power is fine. Check on that. Go along. This is where I debate, do I want to crack heavy oil or at least turn it into solid fuel? The answer is yes, but not yet. So I finished up putting those providers in. I put it in for those as well because why not? If I make more walls, which I'm doing right now, then it'd be nice to be able to request them. Eventually that whole system up there will become storage chests, but it's going to be a while before we get to that as well. I'm looking there just a moment to see why is the iron off-centered, and then I realized that's because the steel had shut down for a little bit. So now we're just checking on things, and this is where I come down and say, okay, why is this not going anywhere? I don't know. Huh? Why could this be? Well, let's open up the thing. I mean, all the wiring seems right. What's going on? What are we short? What's missing? Oh. There's no place to get them out. Kind of forgot to put outputs. Oops. Then I realized that I didn't hook those guys up to the reset switch, so they weren't working. So we do that. Boom, and there we go. And now everything can go and go. It's just a little dark, so we'll add some more light. And then work on the next thing. Which is fixing the belt, because that was wrong. Follow it along, we watch it go, and we realize that there's not enough slowdown here. Because zoom, there they go. We just lost a bunch of them. We don't want to loop around forever. So I slowed them both down and decided this whole section just could be slow. And it does seem to help. We don't miss any more going forward. So that's good. Our engines are still engineing. We're getting ready, I think. I'm doing the final ratios of how much of those I will actually need. Final number is 200. I need 50... It's actually 250. Because I need 50 for that. Or 100 for that, rather. So I figured that out. Okay, put the 100 in. And then I've got 50 left over, and then I realized, well, that just gets me the actual construction robots, because I'm going to do 25 of them. Then I still need 150 for the frames, so I need 200 total at this point, so it's 300, I guess. I love the way walking sounds when you walk real fast. It's kind of cool. I got the wires that I needed. That was part of the order. So the only thing left are the beakers. Excuse me. The Erlenmeyer flasks. So those are the only things that are left. I finally remembered that I had decided to get more oil, so I put that down and I said, okay, now we just need pipe to hook them up. I don't have any pipe. So we're going to order some pipe. We're not in a big hurry for it, so we'll patiently wait. We check on our engines. Are the engines doing? Why aren't those going in? That's because when you set the reset switch, it resets everything. So for some reason, it's not... the default is not to unload if you hadn't unloaded anything previously. So I'm not sure why that is, but it is. Taking a look at the biters, nothing seems to have gone wrong. We start thinking to look at that one again. I think I'd love to kill it, but it just isn't possible. There's nothing else to kill. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Well, let's put these engines into... Oh, apparently I don't do that yet. Need more light. Give me more light. So we have more light. We put the pipes in place, and then I think the next thing I do is honestly put the engines into the engine factory. There we go. Because I decided not to wait. And away we go. So now we're starting to get electrical engines, which is good. That's what we need for the robots. Just checking on things, making sure they're running smoothly. They appear to be. Taking a short break. And of course, there was a fish there finally. And I decided, let's improve this area, because I was tired of this area. It's not fast enough. I want more. It must be faster. So let's just start improving it. We're going to double it up. So I'm thinking, okay, what do we do? Well, we're going to need to take an input. And we're going to need to take that input, divide it in twain, and then have two more of those little devices that tell me, okay, this is what this is and this is what that is. And I decide I don't like where any of this is, so I'm going to move it. And so what I decided to do is I'm moving it closer. I'm not yet. I will. It's going to get moved because I decided I don't want to move that. I don't want to deal with any of that. That's kind of in the way. I don't like it. So I move it closer to the outpost. And there we go. Simple move over, and we're good to go. So now it's a matter of wiring, right? So it's the same thing that we've had before. Set, reset, switch. We've got the everything. We've got the comparator. And then we just need 3 mathematics modules. One to multiply, or excuse me, to divide it in half. And then one each for the 2 chests, because that's how many chests we're going to have. The reason you need the 2 separate ones is because you can't... I could have them output alpha equals... whatever half the number is, to each of the chests, but it won't double the input when it goes into the comparison machine, and so it won't ever actually work. Which is unfortunate. So it's just easier just to have 2 machines. And here I'm just doing all the different wiring up. I mean, it's the same story, right? We know how it works. We get our alpha equals beta, we've got the everything equals beta, we've got our set reset switch. I decided to put these over so we can get a little more space. It's just a matter of wiring it up. Which is what I'm doing here. So, it's exactly what we did with the red circuits. It's just there's only one input-output, so it's a lot simpler. And that's speaking of red circuits, I have a panic moment. My God, did I actually remember to do this? And I did. So, everything's fine. Everything's fine. False alarm. Just checking on the progress of our smart inserters. They are progressing nicely. And then I notice, oh shoot, all the red and green science is producing already. This is bad. So I introduce a small slowdown mechanism. So it doesn't, I don't care what the ratio of these things are, it just slows everything down a little bit. Because I'm taking a fast inserter to take it out, well, essentially, because a smart inserter is a fast inserter. And then I'm using 2 standard inserters to put it back on, so it slows everything down, and we'll see that this thins it out quite nicely. And I think it works as a nice stopgap. I don't think I need both of them. I may go down to just the one, but it's good because the blue science is so much slower. If we had left it, then it would never, we'd never have the right, there'd never be room on the belt, which would be bad. So we just finished the iron, and that's it, really. That's all set to go. So as soon as we have an order, iron will be ready. This is me just checking on the work, and you can see how sparse it gets, which is what we're looking for. And I said, we'll take the other one off, probably, because what's happening, as you can see, is that the red is not going to get circulated, and so then that'll be the same problem. There'll be too much blue. I just thought of something I could do with that is you could take a smart inserter in the middle, right? That filters all the science, and then you have, or filters 2 of them anyway, because you would do this twice. And then you'd have going out from the middle 2 separate boxes, one to the left and one to the right with each color. So you'd filter it that way too. So that would help slow it down a little bit, and then have it done. So here I decided that I wanted to do what I had done with the iron to the steel and the copper. So here I'm going to put the copper because I felt that that is more important to be near the end. So it's the same exact configuration. Everything is the same. And then I do the same thing over here with the steel. Get it set up. We'll add power to it in a minute. And we'll get all those things that we need. Of course, I said, oh, shoot. I took all that, left all my resources so that I have space to move things, and I didn't have any resources to build. And you can see I'm already starting to build robot frames, so yay! Just figuring out the best place to put the power. Turns out where I'm standing is the best place to put the power. And there we have it set. Now it's just time to get those set up. Copy and paste the correct recipes, if you will. And there you go. So we're getting close to the end here. We've got about 3.5 minutes left. One thing to talk about, I think tomorrow will be a normal time episode, just because, again, I don't have a lot of time, and tomorrow I'm streaming, so I certainly don't have enough extra time just to do this. But I happen to notice nothing's working. Why is that? So I try a couple of little fixes to get this to work. The little fixes don't work, and as you'll see in just a minute, I'm going to tear the whole thing down and redo it. Because for whatever reason, that one works and that one doesn't. And I still can't tell you why. No idea. There's a cross wire somewhere, I'm sure, because inputs are in the wrong spot. So, but in the end, we just end up rebuilding it, and hopefully, you know, it'll be the last time we have to rebuild something like that. Tomorrow's episode is going to be, like I said, a normal time one. We're going to disband major portions of the loop and get things in the proper order based on the roadmap chart that I have that's right here next to me. Putting the gears in the top left and putting the chests and the pipes and everything on the right, and all of that stuff. We're going to start tomorrow's episode. And honestly, would it be better in a sped up episode like this? Probably, but I just don't have the time. If I weren't doing 5 different videos a week, I might do it. This is where I tried temporary fix. Temporary fix doesn't work so well. You'll see in a moment. I get this reset working. I try not to cross wires, and then I do all these different colored things. I put this together. We end up crossing another wire, so there's even more crossed wires. And I put this reset switch in, and it's gonna have the freak out any minute now. There it is. No clue how I created this loop. Don't know how to solve it, don't know how to fix it, so I have to tear the whole thing down and salt the earth. So we just start over, and at the end of it, spoiler alert, it works fine. So I don't know how I screwed it up in the first place, but we fixed it, and that's all that really matters. Although, it occurs to me, I don't think I ever set the set switch into the master reset network. We'll have to watch to see if I was smart enough to do that, because I feel like I didn't. I don't know, we'll figure it out. You could watch with me and let me know. I have to say, doing this, the 3 times thing, other than the fact that it takes forever, literally, it's surprisingly easy. It takes me a couple minutes to import the game audio into Audacity. I speed it up by 200%, because the way Audacity works, that's how you can get it into a third of the time. Basically what I did is I said, okay, look, I need this many seconds of material. Take this original, make it this many seconds, and it does it. And it worked out, actually, so far, I mean, this whole video worked out really nicely, so I'm very excited about that. Then you import it back into Kdenlive. Kdenlive will speed up the video. It doesn't do the audio, though. It just does a video, and I'm not sure why that is, but that's, that's okay. And it works. All right, So, I check on a couple of last minute things, realize it's the end, so that's all the time I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, click the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel to stay updated everything as it happens, and as we watch me finish the first of the robots, cheers.